今天的会议主持。Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to all friends who are in Shanghai, China, and from different countries in Seoul, webinar. The conference was hosted by the Lingang Innovation Center, Lingang U Area, Shanghai Free Trade Zone, and co-organized by the Global Cross-Border Technology Exchange Research Institute. The purpose of the conference is to enable entrepreneurs to better understand how to do business in China, to interpret the unique policies of Shanghai Lingang Free Trade Zone and how Lingang Innovation Center provides entrepreneurs with high quality service. I'm Zoe from the Global Cross-Border Technology Exchange Institute, the host of today's meeting. 2021年，世界各地依然笼罩在新冠病毒的阴影之下，跨境交流依旧困难重重。所以本次会议除了中国上海会场，还有 Zoom 在线会场。本次宣讲会在领导科创中心领导的关心与支持下正式开始。In 2021, all parts of the world are still surrounded in the shadow of the COVID-19, and the cross-border communication is still difficult. Therefore, in addition to the Shanghai venue in China, this conference also with Zoom webinar. With the care and support of the leaders of Lingang Innovation Center, this presentation officially started. 谢谢各位领导的光临 ，Thanks for your presence. 现在有请上海领导科创中心总经理屈林先生致辞。Please welcome Mr. Qu Lin, General Manager of Shanghai Lingang Innovation Center. 都可以。
不用这个他这两个会互相。
这个也可以。行，首先是我们现场的各位领导、各位专家、各位企业家，以及我们兄弟省市的我们招商和产业服务部门的各位领导，以及我们在全球的通过我们的互联网连线的各位嘉宾和企业家，大家上午好、下午好、晚上。因为我觉得我们今天的会议特别特殊啊，跨了。我刚刚看了名单，我们是20多个国家和地区啊，以及包括我们上海本部的我们在座的企业家啊，共同通过互联网的形式集聚一堂。也特别感谢我们大家有抽这个时间来参与我们今天的峰会啊。下面呢，我想一方面是介绍一下临港新片区，第二个是介绍一下我们科创中心啊，在这个科创服务和产业培育过程中，能够帮助地方政府和企业能做的一些事情，很多的事情。同时，第三方面呢，我想也是代表上海这个平台，我们在希望是通过吸引或者说帮助我们全球的科技创新创业者来在上海建功立业啊，创新创业。首先，我想那边有 PPT 对吧？
有啊，开好。
影响你
好，我想我首先介绍一下临港新片区的临港新片区呢，我们成立今年到下个月啊2周，下个月2周年啊，19年的8月20号，正式在党中央国务院的支持下啊，正式在上海揭台。临港新片区呢，是应该说是一个中国在新能源改革开放中的一个示范试点单位，也结合我们最近刚刚对外发布的浦东建设社会主义建设云里区啊，在浦东啊，其实这两个是一个政策的叠加啊，也是代表中国在新能源改革开放中一些先实的一些做法啊。今年刚刚2周年，当然在这个发展的过程中呢，也得到了海内外以及各个国家部委的专业的支持和授权啊。从定位上来讲，帮我翻一下。从定位上来讲呢，我们一直讲我们临港新片区成立啊，是在我们党的主要领导和国家主要领导人的关系和支持下面啊，我们一讲是我们习总书记亲自关心、亲自策划和亲自推动的这么一个片区的建设。同时呢，设立新片区的意义是进一步扩大我们改革开放的一个全新的国家战略部署。从 去年我们新总书记在上海视察的时候呢，对临港今天提出了5个重要的一个定位啊。第一个是要成为聚集海内外人才、开展国际创新协同的一个重要基地，统筹在岸和离岸业务的重要枢纽，以及帮助中国企业走出去赚到重要的跳板，更好的利用国内和国外2个市场、2种资源的重要的通道，参与国际经济治理的重要的试验田。这个重要呢，也正好呼应了我们上海的科创中心建设以及我们5大中心的建设的主要内容啊。我们上海要打造国际的一个经济金融、航运贸易和全球影响力科创中心，和5个重要的是密切吻合的，这就足以见得临港新片区的一个定位的一个高端。同时，在整个的在政策方面呢，也进一步突出了临港新片区的一个特殊性啊，主要体现在我们6+2的一个制度的设计。其中6呢是我们的投资自由啊，投资自由、贸易自由、资金自由、运输自由、人员的从业自由、信息的便捷联通，叫5自由1联通，5自由1联通。那这个自由呢，也是临港新片区在整个政策制定过程中是对标全球最高开放程度的自由贸易港去做的。我们对标香港、迪拜、新加坡啊等等一系列的全球开放程度最高的自由贸易港区，那这是一个面向全球的开放这么一个窗口。同时，在整个的制度设计上，2呢是2项制度的创新，一个是我们特殊的一些税制啊，特殊的税制，我们要参与国际的一些竞争啊，要吸引和服务全球的科技创新和产业的服务者。所以呢，临港建立了全球最有竞争力的税制啊，陆陆续续我们在发布一些新的政策，比如说我们的企业所得税、我们的个人所得税以及跨境的交易和贸易的一些税收啊，我们做到全球最有竞争力的税制，可以和全球最低的税负齐平啊，甚至比它更低。这是一个。第2个是全面建设我们的风控的法律体系啊，在临港都做了一个我们叫最优政策原则。中国现在有21个自贸区，临港呢新片区叫21+1啊，+1呢是一个特殊，就是全国的所有的自由贸易试验区，他们的产业政策、服务政策、金融政策、人才政策等等这些政策，全国所有地方有的政策，临港可以自动适用啊，这是自动适用，这是给临港一个最优的政策。第2个呢是临港一个先行先试和不可复制原则啊，临港很多事情刚刚讲到，我们前面要成为金融枢纽，临港就是5大枢纽啊，5个重要的一个定位。所以呢，临港及党中央和上海市委市政府给予临港很多的一些权限的一个下放，所以呢，临港的很多的，比如在外汇、在科技创新和这个贸易方面，很多的政策是先行先试的，其他地方在5年之内是不可复制、不可推高。这也足以印证我前面讲的，我们作为制度创新和参与国力治理的重要的制度创新的一个试验田。临港可以先行先试，试完了之后，可能再向全国推广。这是我们的6+2的一个政策的体系。当然，在基于这个6+2的那个定位和这个体系下面呢，我们出台了一系列的产业政策、金融政策、商业政策、土地政策、人才政策等等啊。当然，今天我们因为在座的还有连线的，更多是我们的那个企业家，更多是我们企业家，所以我很重点讲讲我们的产业服务政策、产业服务政策。临港呢，我们希望打造全球最高端的科技创新和人才的一个枢纽啊，希望这边成为一个全球科技创新的一个高地，希望吸引全球的一些科技创新的人才和资源到临港来。所以临港呢，我们5年啊，从市委市政府财政里面单列了1000个亿的研发资金去支持企业的一些研发创新的工作啊，对我们的研发的企业，特别在一些关键技术的应用突破和创新方面，包括一些全球的首台套的一些技术啊，给予了很高的支持。我们最高给予项目研发资金投入的50%，最高5000万的无偿的资金啊，在全国的这个科技创新和产业中应该是非常非常有吸引力和竞争力的。第2个呢是我们的一个产业的一些配套的政策，比如说我们的人才政策啊，大家都知道上海、北京啊是全国的超大型城市，这城市人口规模在控制的非常严啊。上海的那个就有临港开放了人才的一个口子啊，第一个是人才的落户啊，我们在居转户的过程中 给予了我们更多的优惠政策啊。我们临港是可以3到5年居证可以落户口啊，市区要7年，这是一个。第二个是满足临港的一些特殊人才需求的一些人才啊，不管我们叫不拘一格，不拘一格去吸引全球和全国的一些人才到上海来，到临港。我们的那个可以特事特办啊，一事一议，对于特殊人才可以单独由国安会来审批啊，我们的落户的一些权限。当然，我们现在临港这边去每个月都有10几20个的特殊人才啊，通过这个平台来进入拿到上海户口的。也有包括我们前段时间大家在网上比较关注的我们的一个网红杨超越啊，他其实按学历、按文化税、按产业的创新，可能他很难拿到上海户口。当时因为临港觉得他对整个临港的宣传和提高知名度有非常的帮助啊，所以也是在去年真正拿到了上海户口。也有包括我们一些高级技工不仅是一些就是我们的临港户口的，不仅是我们的高端的科学家啊，归国的一些科学家、科研人员，也包括在国内的一些创新创业的一些关键领域的突破的创新者可以通过临港落户。同时呢，我们在刚刚讲到我们前面临港还有一块这个税收的政策，税收政策现在陆陆续续在起草中啊。对，我们现在对外籍的和在海外留学的一些回临港、回上海创业的这些人才啊，有一些特殊的一些税收政策，就是可能陆陆续续会出台文字的东西，还没对外公开，但一定是在全球个人所得税和企业所得税是最优的一个税率啊。同时呢，我们那个临港的财政也是享受的省级财政啊，上海市的市级财政啊，给予临港更多的自主权，会有更多的财政的扶持啊，支持到我们企业的一个发展。第4方面呢，是我们的一个人才配套方面的住房政策啊，我们临港有4位一体的人才的保障措施啊，包括我们的外籍人士、海外专家，也包括海外回流的一些创新创业者啊，包括外地的一些新上海或者新临港来临港创业啊。首先是我们的人才公寓啊，人才公寓在不具备上海的购房资格情况下啊，临港有提供了大量的人才公寓啊，去帮助我们的这个人才到临港居住。第二个呢是我们的公共租赁房，我们可以以企业的名义，科技企业的名义，去几乎半价的价格购买到我们的公共租赁房啊，给这个公租房呢可以租赁给我们的企业的员工啊，以很低的租金啊，后面转成我们的10年之内可以转成我们的产权过户给员工，这也是为了吸引和留住我们在临港创新创业的一些年轻人，新临港人啊。第3块是我们的租房补贴啊，就是在人才公寓和我们的公共租赁房不能保证所有人的情况下，对于普通一些工作人员，我们也有人才补贴啊，每个月有600到1600块不等的一个人才补贴，你可以在临港新片区去租用一些公共的一些民用建体啊，建筑去为企业员工提供一个住宿啊。最后一块是我们双线房呢，现在去年啊，我们已经6年的时间啊，我们有差不多7、8批，是按照临港市场价的半价啊，给我们的园区的企业里面的科技创新人员啊，当然也满足一种条件，首先是在满足上海的现有的情况下，在临港工作满2年啊，可以在临港半价买到上海的房子啊。当然，现在临港的房价，包括上海整个房价，以及全球现在我们货币超发之后啊，各个国家，让我了解一下我们这个美国啊、欧洲啊各个国家，其实房价是大幅上涨。上海算控制比较好，但是控制比较好，其实也是有一定程度上涨。临港涨幅还是比较大的，临港现在我们的20房已经卖到6万左右了，但对于我们的人才的房子呢，差不多在2万左右啊，还有一些一定形式的补贴和返还，所以我们真的是住房成本啊，在2万不到的一个成本，所以这也是我们怎么样去降低我们科技创新人员啊到临港创新兴业啊投资落户的一个非常好的一个保障，这是几个基于临港的一个政策啊。当然，临港的政策还很多，陆陆续续的在上海市委市政府支持下面，在国家部委的授权下面，到今年的5月份为止啊，我们已经有国家部委和上海市委市政府的部分的权限1100多项啊，全部下放到临港，就意味着临港以前讲临港前临港发， 临港的事儿临港办，很多事情，比如说我们的外籍人士创业，我们做一些选区啊，那个你的工作签证可以直接下沉到临港当地办，不用到上海市的外办去办理，所以也给我们很多的外籍的人士提供了很多的方便。很多权益下放呢，为企业的我们现在觉得一网通办和科技创新营商的环境提供很多的便利。一个是我们的时间效率上面，以前很多事情可能需要整个上海市的各委办的流转，以及各个部门流转，可能需要15天的20天时间的一些事项，现在基本上在3天啊，在临港就可以办齐啊，这也是进一步去提高临港的优化，提高领导工作效率和优化营商环境的重要举措啊，叫领导实行领导办很多的权限，这是得到上级部门的一个支持啊。第二方面，我想介绍一下我们那个临港科创，这是我们自己这个平台啊。那个我们这个平台呢，可能我要从我们这个本部讲起，就是我们今天所在的湾谷啊，这个湾谷呢是我们应该说是上海市中心城区最大的单体的科技园区啊，我们还没有完全建完，现在2期建完之后差不多将近80万张啊，1期是56万张的一个体量，那个3期建完98万张，是上海市单体最大的一个科技园区啊。这边它的前身的中心在复旦大学的西老校区对面啊，国电路邯郸路我们的杨浦科创啊。这个科创中心呢是我们97年啊，在上海市的主要领导支持下面啊，成立的一个事业单位，这个事业单位当时做了2个创新，一个创新呢是全国在高新区之外的第一家国家级的孵化器。全国以前的在97年之前，全国所有的孵化器，国家级孵化器那个时候200家不到100多家，这100家都是在国家级的高新区，因为孵化器是一个孵化科技项目和孵化科技企业家的一个平台，应用在高新区里面。而我们的上海杨浦的科创中心呢，是全国第一家在高新区之外啊，也是上海第一个在高校周边的科技企业孵化器。为什么特别提到是高校周边？因为在90年代的时候啊，那个学校的大门和围墙是非常非常厚重的。为什么那个时候不鼓励学生和老师去创业和搞副业，学校的工作主要是搞科研、教学、学习为主啊。所以当时我们这个孵化器是建立在复旦大学的正对面啊。当时我们的发起人陈志立同志，当时上海市委市政府的那个副书记啊，市委副书记，当时提了一个讲法说，能不能我们去学习人家海外的一些先进的模式，比如说我们硅谷模式啊，在上海能够帮助学校的科研成果的转化这样一个平台啊。同时呢，当时在90年代的时候，可能交通也不方便，所以提了画了一个圈啊，叫离复旦大学步行啊不超过15分钟啊，骑车不超过5分钟的地方，去方便学生呢在科研和教学学习之余，能够有一个创新创业的一个环境的地方。当时我们是在一个很小的一个破厂房里面啊，开始做我们的小孵化器啊，所以我们第一批的我们孵化的创业项目70%、80%是来自于我们复旦大学的项目，科研成果转化的一个项目。当然，随着我们整个项目的一步一步，一个是从政府的支持，第二个是我们的服务能力提升，也包括我们更多的学生、老师和社会的创业者的参与啊，这个创业中心呢不断的扩大。到了05年啊，在市里面的支持下面啊，我完成了那个应该是上海市比较早的一批事业单位的改制啊，到05年的时候呢，我们把事业单位和我们成立一家国有企业，把它并起来，成立叫上海高科技洋浦孵化基地有限公司啊。这个公司呢，也是在上海乃至全国的科技系统是一个非常创新的一种模式，就是以一个企业化运作的模式来服务科技创新的一个公共的一个事业。它既承担了一部分的公共的服务的质量，但是同时又是一个市场化经营的一个主体啊。同时，这个做市场化经营的主体呢，赚了钱，更多的就要反哺到科技创新的事业，它形成一个公益和公益所结合的一种模式。所以到现在为止，这种模式也被称为中国孵化器的5大模式，2个在上海，一个上海模式，一个杨浦模式啊。通过怎么样成为一个市场化的渠道和机制来运作一个公共的事业平台。这是从机制上。第二方面是从整个的服务链的方面，我们经历了几个阶段。第一个阶段呢，我们一开始孵化器更多是代表政府的渠道啊，我们孵化政府的小微项目啊，但随着企业的发展，我觉得 政府光靠政策和物业，就是我们的物理空间和政策远远不能满足企业发展的一些需求所以我们提出怎么样对企业做更多的一些服务所以说服务的深入呢，我们在专业领域做了很多的划分原来的杨浦科创是更多是一个综合性的孵化器，就是我们只要是科技创新的项目，都是我们服务和孵化的一个范围。但随着我们整个企业的数量增加，我们比如说我们有电子信息、有集成电路、有航空航天、有新材料等等企业的划分，所以在08年的时候呢，我们就分化出不同的一些创新的载体和服务的平台临港科创这个平台就是08年，也刚好是金融危机之后也是同时呢，也是响应我们市委市政府在开发临港这个大片区时候成立的。这个名字成立的时候，在09年的时候呢，当时名字叫临港海洋科创，因为当时的临港是定位是海洋高新产业化基地，作为一个主要的一个产业定位。那边是主要是海洋装备，在上海知道我们的那个海洋大学、海事大学都是在08年、10年那个时候搬到临港搬到临港。那所以整个临港是打造一个海洋经济的一个地区，所以我们也是代表科委在临港建立我们海洋科创中心。当然，随着这个临港今天的经济发展对产业的定位做一些新的调整。14年之后，那个我们习总书记在上海有一个比较著名的讲新风上一个讲话，上海除了我们的经济金融、航运、贸易四大中心之后呢，要打造全球影响力的科技创新中心所以在那个时候呢，我们代表上海市的科技系统，我们给那个上海市委市政府以及科技部提了一个方案，我们是不是要立足上海，打造一个技术创新和科技转类的这个平台是应该是在产业孵化的基础之上这么一个平台。所以我们在15年习总讲话1周年的时候呢，成立了我们国家技术转移综合中心这个中心的现在办公在这个楼的10楼，这是一个全国现在11个分中心。全国11个，但是这个分中心呢，是我们唯一的是一个科技部在上海科创中心建设一个部署的合作平台。有了科创中心之后呢，我们整个的杨浦孵化和临港孵化走入了一个新的一个平台，国际化的平台。正是有这个平台，所以我们才今天可能有这个机会，不仅是和国内的产业界、企业界，以及我们可以更多的和国际的产业界和科技界进行一个对话和服务的交流。所以15年之后，我们把综合中心定位为立足上海面向全球的一个科技创新的一个技术转移枢纽。所以陆陆续续从15年开始，我们在海外建立我们不同的海外的中心。现在陆陆续续在美国在欧洲，现在在日本、在韩国、在东南亚、新加坡都建立了我们海外的分中心海外分中心。这些分中心的目的做什么呢？就是帮助中国的企业家和海外的科技创新者能够互相进行协作和交流一方面是我们叫以进来者走出去帮助海外的科技创新项目人才资本服务能够通过我们的平台进入到中国和中国来协同创新及开拓中国的市场。当然也包括我们帮助中国的企业去开拓国际的市场和进行技术和产业的一些对接和服务所以这个中心更多是一个海外中心，海外和国内之间的一个交流枢纽和桥梁。这是对海外的。第二方面呢，是因为在15年之前呢，我们更多是立足于上海在做产业孵化，所以陆陆续续我们上海有10个不同产业的园区园区。那个当然呢，上海的园区呢，所有的楼宇都是以研发为主，但很多的企业都陆陆续续长大孵化成熟了，变成我们的独角兽企业，变成我们的毕业企业，变成我们的准上市公司或者上市公司了。它在上海发展的时候，它需要产业化的资源会更多，比如说我们的土地资源、产业工业的资源这在之前呢，很多企业是一个自由的移出的状态，更多是到长三角去寻求我们的生产加工的一些基地那15年之后呢，我们认为这些企业应该是跟每个地方政府应该有比较密切的产业互动和匹配资源匹配，每个地方产业特点不一样，所以15年之后，我们陆陆续续在我们长三角以及全国建立了我们东部和临港以及现在长三角协同重庆和双创的一些释放的一些基地，去帮助这些企业立足上海，吸引更多的科创资源，同时在长三角以及全国的其他地方进行产业的落地和产业化的一个工作所以我们现在在全国有27个地级市或省市，有27个点是我们的 国内的分中心。那这样呢，立足于上海，就一般是面向全球，海外有17个，国内有27个，陆陆续续可能海外达到30个，那个国内达到50个，这样一个产业协同的一个枢纽。当然，上海是作为这个一个开放的基础的这么一个平台，为大家提供服务啊。这是我们除了产业孵化第2块的这个技术转移，第3块呢，还有一个全新的平台。今年在那个全球刚刚我们结束的第2届全球技术转移大会上也是那个集中去亮相的上海技术交易所。这个交易所呢是原上海科委的一个事业单位，在93年就成立了。这也是上海市和科技部共建的一个区域性的技术交易的这么一个平台。当然，也是因为体制机制的原因，在整个的技术交易的推进过程中可能整个的效果不是太好，所以我们在建立国家技术转移东风中的时候呢，我们同步给国务院和上海市委市政府报告，我们希望把这个平台做成一个开放的市场化的这么一个平台。所以19年的年底，正式得到国务院的批文允许我们通过市场化的形式去改制交易所所以我们现在2019年、20年的年初就把纪交所这个事业单位改成了上海纪交所有限公司。这个公司在做什么呢？就是我们刚刚讲到的前端的产业孵化，终端的技术转移，最终你是实现了技术的交易，就像我们所有的企业一样，上市是我们的最终的目标，当然不是唯一目标，是个分层方向目标。我们的技术的成果的转化，最终交易是一个最终目标。所以这个技术交易呢，也是在整个上海市委市政府以及科技部的支持下面正式的运作起来。我们去年10月份，10月28号，在无锡市长的亲自的叫眉毛开示下面，1个多月时间的交易额做到10个亿当然，这和全国的这个技术交易的总量2万亿比较起来，还很小所以现在全国的技术交易的交易额是2万亿今年应该超过2万亿。那我们希望通过几年的奋斗，我们希望更多的技术交易能够通过进场交易，通过我们专业化服务，能够尽快的去落地和产业化。同时呢，基于技术交易和中国中心呢，我们在临港也全新打造了2个全新的一个平台这个是结合着我们叫临港可能是一个区域的一个块状的一个政策。那临港科创呢，可能是在专业和产业孵化、产业培育的一个条状的一个工作。这2块在临港结合之后呢，我们就产生2个新的平台。一个是我们临港科创中心除了一个国家级的孵化区和园区之外，我们的技术转移体系作为国家级的一个智能制造的一个中心，同时把临港定位为我们的离岸孵化基地这个离岸是针对海外的一个理念。我们希望把临港做成一个海外企业进入中国的首站，同时也帮助中国的企业走向海外的重要跳板。这也是结合我们习总书记对临港一个全新的这么一个定位第2个是我们希望基于临港打造全球的跨境技术贸易中心、贸易中心。那这个东西的目的呢是希望我们大量的技术，不仅是国内的技术，也包括海外的大量的技术能够通过临港这么一个枢纽的平台，向在国际上进行流动，是因为真正的一个枢纽。所以当时我们提出了一个叫 Global to C to China 是全球的技术到中国来，临港作为首站。同时在中国的项目走向海外的 G2 C2G 中国的企业走向海外，走向全球这么一个跳板。同时呢，我们作为长三角的重要的一个产业的桥头堡临港定位也是这叫 C2C 国内的产业的大循环和产业的协同，我们叫科创加产业的服务和产业孵化，怎么样形成联动，这是一个重要的枢纽。同时呢，我们更多临港新片区是基于上海服务全球的这么一个企业，所以它还有一部分的叫转口贸易的一部分 G2G 很多海外的技术、海外的产业通过临港的孵化，同时再回到全球化过程中去这是我们在临港去全新建立的2个新的平台这张平台也是在通过2年的运作，也吸引了大量的海外的创业者通过这个平台到上海、到临港来创业，也帮助很多的国内的企业通过我们的渠道平台走向海外。这是我第2块我们介绍的一个临港新片区和临港科创我 们领导身边是什么，是好的政策以及领导科创，我们以前做什么，现在做什么，未来要做什么事情啊。所以最后呢，我想也在给这个机会啊，那个热诚去欢迎啊我们广大的企业家啊，我们政府啊，更多的去协作啊，通过我们这个平台来更好的去孵化我们的产业和技术的发展。同时，最后也希望我们在座的各位及线上的各位企业家朋友和各位领导，那个身体健康，万事如意，谢谢大家。
谢谢区长的讲话哈，我们现在呢有请全球跨境技术交流研究院院长杨华先生致辞。Please welcome Mr. Yang Hua, President of the Global Cross-Border Technology Exchange Institute.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Across several time zones, more than 100 entrepreneurs from 20 countries gather here online. Welcome all of you. I'm Hua Yang, President of the Global Cross-Border Technology Exchange Institute. In 2020, Lingang Innovation Center was officially transformed and upgraded and began to build a global cross-border technology trade center and offshore incubation base. On April the 28th, 2021, the Global Cross-Border Technology Exchange Institute was officially inaugurated, becoming a new platform for implementing strategic goals since the transformation upgrade from last year. Today is the online debut of our institute, so I take the opportunity to introduce ourselves. Our institute's role are mainly centered around the following aspects. Firstly, researcher and disseminator of Lingang's innovation policy. The goal of the Global Cross-Border Technology Trade Center is to build a world-class cross-border technology trade hub that integrates 5 technology service trade centers: trade, R&D, enterprises, finance, and talent. A hub with 5 major functions: technology trade, IP operation and protection, technology financing, training exchange, and R&D pilot testings, built through the integration of the following resources: the Global Technology Transfer Network, international stock exchanges, well-known universities, research institutions, international resources, domestic resources, the Yangtze River Delta Collaborative Innovation Network, and the Shanghai Science and Technology Functional Platform. Our institute will closely rely on Fudan University, Shanghai Jiaotong University, and other universities and research institutes as strategic partners of Lingang Innovation. The institute will organize experts and professors to strengthen the research and study of comprehensive scientific and technological innovation policy and the system innovation of the Lingang special area of Shanghai Free Trade Zone. Actively promote Lingang innovation to friends at home and abroad, and to create a more attractive environment for cross-border technology and exchange, making Lingang Innovation Center the first choice for cross-border technology trade and business development. Secondly, one-stop service provider for investment and entrepreneurship. We have confidence that the Lingang's excellent innovation and entrepreneurship environment and business policy advantages will stimulate the investment enthusiasm of many overseas companies. As a service platform for corporate venture capital, the Institute will provide overseas investors with a series of one-stop services such as registration, lending support, operation custody, technology transfer, marketing, financial services, and talent training to allow enterprises to invest, live, and work stress-free. We will also provide support and incubation through CTA Group's fund for startups that fit within the Lingang Innovation Industrial Guidance. With the current pandemic in consideration, all services can be done online in an efficient, convenient, and traceable manner. Thirdly, constructor of cross-border communication bridges. Our institute will provide a full range of cross-border exchange services for entrepreneurs, academic researchers, technical communicators, and exchange visitors. The goal is to communicate and learn from each other. Taking advantage of the rapid development of the internet, we can hold both online and offline activities such as entrepreneurial summits and seminars, corporate inspections, business visits, and other related activities. Through the coalition of ideas, we can understand each other, discover business opportunities, reach cooperation, and achieve a win-win situation. Fourthly, but not the lastly, a resource integrator connecting all parties. Since the Institute serves as a platform for cross-border exchange, it will inevitably bring together various information, technology, business opportunities, and other resources at home and abroad. In addition to providing a full range of services, our institute has the obligation to actively integrate these resources so that entrepreneurs and scholars at home and abroad can achieve enterprise and career advancement. Based on the national strategy for the integration of the Yangtze River Delta, the Institute will make suggestions for the construction of the Lingang Innovation Yangtze River Delta city sub-centers. We will cooperate with the feasibility study, implementation, and the preliminary design of the construction plan, and the adaptation of domestic and foreign enterprises, thus opening up a broader world for entrepreneurs at home and abroad in the development of Lingang innovation. Thank you for listening. Look forward to meeting you in Lingang.
Thank you, Mr. Yang, your presentation. 下面有请阿根廷共和国驻上海总领事奥帕罗致辞。Please welcome Pablo Obaga, Consul General of Argentina in Shanghai.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to participate tonight in the Shanghai Free Trade Zone Innovation Summit. I would like to congratulate the Shanghai Lingan Innovation Center for the organization of this important conference. And let me start with a brief introduction to the type of companies that are based here in China. I'm from Argentina. You know, we are specialized in the agriculture and food industry cluster, so we have companies that are based here and has relation with this sector. So we have, for example, like Arcor, that is a leading multinational group that works with food products, but also SMEs that are specialized in high quality products like wines, beef, shrimp, or olive oil. But there are also other companies that belongs to sectors of high value added, like for example biotechnology is the case of Biogenesis Vago that produces vaccines for animal health and has a production plant here in Shanghai province. Or other company that is Red Surcos, which is specialized in the production and commercialization of pesticide and inputs for the farming sectors. As Argentina is one of the 10 countries with the highest growth potential in knowledge economy exports. So we believe that with our human capital, we have the potential to transform our country in a global platform to knowledge-based services. In this sense, Argentina in 2020 passed a new law, knowledge economy law, that seeks to create 215,000 quality jobs and reach 15,000 millions new dollars in exports by 2030. Taking this potential in our knowledge economy sector, the Consulate General of Argentina in Shanghai started its cooperation with the Lingan Innovation Center in April 2019 on the occasion of the Argentine Venture Capital and Private Equity Conference, which was held with the support of the National Ministry of Production, the Argentinian Agency for Investment and International Trade, and the Argentine Association of Private Equity Entrepreneurship and Seed Capital, ARCAP. On that occasion, we had the opportunity to bring representatives from the Argentine company Mercado Libre, that is the first Latin American unicorn in the region, to exchange experiences with Chinese counterparts, and also to introduce, for the first time, the Argentine and Latin America entrepreneurial ecosystem to Chinese investors, and to organize different B2B meetings between Argentine and Chinese funds. So, based on that productive experience, last December we invited the Lingan Innovation Center to participate and give a presentation in an online seminar organized by the support of our Minister of Foreign Affairs that was aimed at Argentine companies in the knowledge-based services sector, which would serve to introduce aspects of the localization process for foreign startups seeking to initiate activities in China, like many knowledge-based services companies that are participating tonight in this conference. In this regard, the knowledge services-based services sector, it is important to point out that Argentina is a leader in Latin America in this high value-added, which currently accounts of 8% of the Argentina's exports, with the prospect for further consolidation in the next 10 years. We still have a long way in order to have a relevant presence in the Chinese market. That is our challenge. In this regard, Argentina knowledge-based services sector has many competitive advantages, such as the great talent of our human resources, which with creativity, flexibility, and great problem-solving capacities, high-quality public and private academics offerings of all the three levels, the ability to offer high value-added services, knowledge of specific industries of high complexity, accessible state-of-the-art communication infrastructure, and the entrepreneurial spirit and leadership capacity of our business. In spite of this, we understand that the competitiveness of this sector in China is extremely high and that competing is difficult for Argentine companies. So we consider it vital that the Argentine companies and startups seek to integrate intelligently into the knowledge-based services sector, seeking to join as suppliers of the sector's value chains in the links in which they specialize. In this sense, Shanghai and the Yangtze River Delta region is one of the most important and dynamic regions due to its high specialization, which makes it a very attractive place for foreign startups to considering setting up here to enter the Chinese market. And in this context, we believe the Shanghai Free Trade Zone and the Ligan Innovation Center will be the key partner in the future for Argentine startups in order to integrate intelligently into the Chinese value chains. So to take profit of the preferential policies it offers related to trade, investment, finance, talents, and information, among others. Let me finish by saying that I sincerely wish this conference and all the participants have a great success, which I believe is a great platform to exchange information and experiences, and that I look forward for a continued and enhanced exchange between China and Argentina, and between the Argentine startups and the Shanghai Free Trade Zone and the Lingan Innovation Center. Thank you very much.
CEO Jack Pan 发言. Please welcome Jack Pan, CEO of CJ International Group.
Okay. Just 1 second. Okay. Yep. Sorry for the delay. First, I want to. I'm Jacques Plante. I'm the CEO of CJ International Group. First, I want to welcome all the e-delegates around the world for attending our first conference, presented in partnership with the Shanghai Lingang Innovation Center. Sorry. Okay. As I said, the world, as we know, many speakers come from different countries and different time zones. So it was appropriate to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Relatively, one of the first speakers, Mr. Kun Q. I especially want to thank the general manager of the Shanghai Lingang Innovation Center to have, in fact, agreed to have not a sponsorship, but more a direct participation and partnership to do that conference. And on a more lighter note, some people may have noticed I'm currently in Orlando, a few minutes from Disney World. And the background is not the picture, it's really a game room where, of course, we're near Disney World, and it has a high-tech technology, of course, as a sector. So it's one of our ownership building here. As for CJ International, it's an investment we did. So eventually we'll rent that home. So it's good to work remotely in certain occasions, not only at the office. The world, especially working remotely, like I said. On a second note, I just want to congratulate China. I read yesterday that the first manned mission succeeded liftoff yesterday to their new space laboratory. So you see here, hopefully the cooperation, even with other countries in the world. And that's the purpose of the conference, is cooperation. When I see that, then sometimes China is more treated separately, and it should not happen that way. And by that, I'm going to start, and you'll understand why our experience. The purpose of that presentation is more to introduce us. What's the relationship with the Lingang Innovation Center we have established already. First, everybody sees here is a small AGM. We're not a big thousands of employees. We have many partners around the world. That was only a general meeting we had 2 years ago before COVID. Of course, that last year we didn't have. And well, as you see here, of course, I'm in with Chow. Very important. The CJ was the meaning of it. Well, we started back in 2006 in Canada. C for Chow, Shui Chow, from Shanghai, Canadian also. and myself for the J. So if somebody asks the question, why CJ, that's it. And what is more important is that I'll talk a bit about the picture itself. It's very important because it shows cooperation. I would say on the greater broad, there's a lot of people here from China, of course, the bulk of the people who are present. Some are from Vietnam. We have an office in Vietnam. We'll talk about that a little bit. And people from Montreal, Quebec City. And we even have a guest from Romania on the left side. One of them will have a chance to make a presentation late after me. Who is, well, like I said, well, when you read the document itself, it's self-explanatory. Helping invest in Canada, that's very important. Our core business, in fact, I would summarize it, what we call RCBI, residency citizenship by investment. The key word is investment. We've been, and mostly our clients came from China. So those were high wealthy individual entrepreneurs, most of them, of course, and they had to qualify, and different programs around the world. There's programs in Quebec. There used to be a federal program, and there's a PNP we call provincial numeric program. There's US. There's over 75 kind of program around the world, and that's to help the economy of the local countries there. So just to go faster, because I know it's a very short presentation we have. Yeah, just to show up the relationship, especially like Chow and myself, we know each other for more than 20 years. We started our company 15 years ago, and we established, we established, of course, officially, of course, a representative office, of course, a Canadian company in Shanghai. So we have a long time of experience here. Our presence in China is not something new. So we have established a long relationship with the government and the corporation. I just want to go fast on the project. What we are doing, in fact, it's investor. And we have an agreement we just barely signed 2 months ago with the Lingang Innovation Center to promote to mostly SMBs companies in Canada to introduce the Lingang Innovation Center. And of course, there's many corporations. We have done businesses in Quebec in particular. So that would be, of course, where we're going to focus. It's a cooperation agreement we just signed, and we'll make sure that it's the great cooperation that will develop over the years. Well, this is to give you, of course, we used to work with government entities, like in Florida. Presently, as you can see, well, you cannot, unless you may zoom in. One did with the bottom left, yeah, that's one of our partners for the American programs. Of course, as you will see in the next slides, here, we have done a lot of projects in the United States. I know that's called the EB5. Investors they contribute, of course, for directly risk investments in the American project. But as you can see on the left, that was a groundbreaking ceremony we had when we invested in the Meridian Hotel that was created in Tampa. We had partner, Atlantic American is our partner, but we provided all the investors of that project. And that's a project that was over $50 million globally. And we contributed about, if I recall, 24 clients at $500,000 each. That was the direct investment through Atlantic American, who is our local entity who find out the projects for us. So we were part of the investment directly through our network. And of course, we always work with major banks and projects. So we're part of the asset stack of any project. As you can see here, that was one of the projects we have with them. We just promoted also other programs. The beginning, we did only small neighborhood shopping centers and all that, of course. And after that, we started to diversify assisted living memory care facility for Alzheimer patients in particular. And afterward, we grew up in the bigger projects like I love Marriott's, even the luxury apartments. Aber Chase was another assisted living memory care. In Canada, we work with different financial institutions, the Financial Industrial Alliance called through Finexo. And those are the smaller projects. But I see here like many of them are mostly manufacturers, but there's some who could be very interested. Like I see automation and robotic equipment manufacturer might be a good link introduction to the Linking Innovation Center. Some of course like making machines and all those more and more manufacturers here. What I see here like Melush is one of our medium-sized company in the aerospace industry and that we have a close relationship with. So that could be interesting. Of course, there's other more, I would say, more traditional kind of industry. So the purpose is for us and our main, like I said, it's to do introduce mostly, if we can, of course, and approach our relationship contacts we have in province of Quebec. Even in Canada, we have a partnership with incubator. Montreal Bridge is one of our incubators. We have a project in BC, British Columbia, also contacts. So that might be an opportunity for everyone to expand, especially they have. So interest, of course. Of course, there's a lot of competition. We have, like you hear, there's like IQ, Investment Quebec International, Montreal International. We have the same aim or objective to attract the talent, attract new industries or key industries, I would say. So, but for us, it's an opportunity, it's a new venture. And now we hope to go in that direction hand on hand. And I think it would be a lot of expansion that will be beneficial for both parties. So I thank everyone. And yeah, that's why we're established now. We have a sorry for the last picture. Yeah, so we take already advantage of being present physically and the innovation center here as an office. We do have offices across China everywhere. We got an office in, in Vietnam, even in the United States with a partner. And as I speak here, we have even a full investment dealer, CJ Securities. I don't want to talk about all the group, it's going to never end. We have CJ Legal Services also, is a law firm recognized, based in Vietnam and Canada also, of course. And with all those entities, we're working hand in hand to hopefully, like I said, introduce potential, of course, company and individual to the new free trade zone. Thank you again for everyone, and hope to see you soon in Shanghai.
朝前呢是我们的主题目，上面和大家分享的 PPT 呢是参会者发言人他们自己准备的 PPT， 以他们当时自己的语言英文为主。当然，我们也准备了中文的那个 PPT， 在后面的那个小电视。如果你们想了解的话，可以回头看一下小电视上面都会有中文翻译的稿子。谢谢。接着呢，我们下面有请美国名誉院长 Pascal Bernard 致辞。Please welcome Dr. Pascal Bernard, Chairman of University Consortium of the Americas.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me share the screen. I just would like to talk a little bit about what we do in China and the world of China today. Do you see the screen? It's not coming. Okay. It is sharing. I think there is a slight problem. Do you see the screen?
No screen.
Okay, I have to share this. Stop sharing. New share. Hold on a sec. Why it's not sharing? Do you allow me to share, please? Okay. What I would like to do is go over a little bit about the business in China and what we do. Okay, the world is in crisis, but we have to see what the role of the world and the relationship with China, and I will explain what we do in China. I'm sorry for the delay. I was trying to view that. Okay, is there one world or is there two worlds? I think we have today a problem that I hope will be solved eventually. The West doesn't know enough about China. The West gets incorrect information that will create eventually problems. I'd like to talk about the crisis. The crisis, the Chinese view, my work in China, why is China so successful, the condition to succeed in China, and the relationship of China with the world, and the future of China in a few years. In China, the people see the crisis as a danger and also as an opportunity. So I think that's a good message that we learn from the Chinese people. Always look at the crisis as something that will bring an opportunity for you. We have seen it today, that the trade war between China and the United States and protectionism in the United States and the world has created a problem. The virus was another problem that China was much better to control or manage. Who will win in the trade war? No one. But China will lose much less because China has a long-term vision. One problem in the West, I'm talking about especially the United States and Canada, we have a short view. We think of the next election. In China, they have a view of a long-term view that is very, very important to understand. In January 2020, the people were criticizing China for closing Wuhan in a very tough way. They say they are a dictator. But the West should have known that this was coming, and the Chinese people solved the issue much better. We did a study with Dr. Pleasant and myself about the perception of the people in Canada, the US, and China about what is the future of the global world. And of course, Chinese people see a better future, and they certainly see that their country has managed much better the crisis. My link to China is through education. I'm a university professor, and that's what I do basically is run international programs. I have known China when I was 2 years old, maybe. That was a few years ago. My uncle, who was in China at that time, his name was Prosper Bernard also. He was killed during the war. And in 1983, I found the place where he's buried. And then I started projects in education. With our partner in 1995, we negotiated an agreement and we started the program. We do a program linking the West and China. My objective was to create more trade, and that's why we started with the MBA. We're running an MBA for executive, the Chinese executives. We have in China more than 1,000 graduate alumni of our Canadian program. Our partner is China University of Mining and Technology in Jiangsu Province, Suzhou, with the University of Quebec in Montreal. We've been doing that for 25 years. And we are in the same partnership for the last 20 years, 25 years. And that's what is good. In China, we need to have reliable partners. What I do is also bring foreign people to visit China. I bring Chinese people to visit the US and Canada. We've been running a doctoral program. We're planning on that. We have done a post-MBA program in China with a Chinese university, and we have received many university professors from China to do a postdoctoral program here. Basically, maybe 50 of them over the years. Twice a year, I bring Canadian, American, and European to visit China, MBA students, executive MBA, people who have experience. The objective is that they know better China to create a network and to create a relationship, guanxi. And I try to teach people that to do business in China, you must have proper partners. We have done this, as I said, post-MBA for foreigners. I do seminars for foreigners that want to do business in China, and we link American universities. Now I'm doing that with an American university and a Canadian university to link Chinese university with the Western universities. Why is China so successful? I think it's very important to know that in the last 25 years, China was able to bring out of poverty 800 million people. Could you tell me which country, which continent in the world was able to do that? Nobody. So this is the main success of China. How have they done this? Because I will show you. Why are they so successful? There are many ways. I think personally that one way is that they had 100 years of suffering after the Opium War. And they started the new China about 1980. They have a special culture that a lot of foreigners do not understand. They never take anything for granted. They learn from history. And I think this is one message, that you do business in China, you have to understand the history. It's a market economy, like in the West, with a long-term vision. It is probably the best place to invest because the environment is stable, the rules are clear. You know what the government wants for the next 5 years, the next 50 years. And there's no threat to personal safety, whether it's in China, Shanghai, or anywhere else in the China. Will China remain the manufacturer of the world? I think so, because of two things: technology, and also because the government builds the infrastructure and people use it. By 2025, that is 4 years from now, China will be the first economy of the world. What about 2039? I think they will have a major impact on the world. And by 2047, the economy of China will be double the economy of the United States of America. If we do, like the economists say, if everything else stays the same. Condition to succeed in China, I tell the people, you have to know the history at least for the last 200 years. You have to understand the culture. And you have to love it. You have to accept it. You have to understand the protocol. And in China, everything has to do with relationship. You have relationship with the people, with the government, with the party, and you need a very reliable partner. In this case, I think a good way is to get a partnership with Shanghai Lingan Innovation Center to be able to understand the environment. foreign companies must adapt to the Chinese market. They cannot just move and expect to get results Friday night. You have to understand who makes decision in China, and you have to be the first. We were the first international MBA accredited by the central government because we were there before anybody else. We have to know the plan. And this is the presentation we had before. You know where Shanghai is going. You have to understand where the country is going. China is a relationship-based society. And you must have trust. And the problem, a lot of foreigners don't understand that part. It takes a long time to create this real trust. It is more than relation. Trust is the important word. The problem I have now is I have not been able to go to China since 2019. Usually I spend 1 week in China every other month. But now we have to do everything virtual. Chinese don't really, my understanding is they like physical contact. But we have also, when you do business, you have to understand what are the priorities for the local government, like the Shanghai government, like the central government. This is known, it's not secret, it's all clear. China and the world, in North America, USA, and the world. I think I'm an American citizen, also a Canadian citizen. Now there's a lot of tension between Canada and China. We just did a study in China and in Canada. Business people don't see any problem of doing business in that kind of environment. In the USA, people have a fear of China because they don't know enough. They fear the One Belt, One Road initiative. I think it is a good way. We're going to go with our Chinese partner inside this new Belt Road initiative. We're going to move to Thailand with our partner in China. And that's a good way for foreign companies who are already in China. For the Canadians and for foreigners, Chinese people have an admiration for people who have done good things in China. I'm talking about foreigners. One of them is Dr. Norman Betchum, who was a Canadian. He died in China during the war. And he is considered in China as the good example of a foreigner who is helping China. Is it linked China and Canada? Of course, it is still relevant. Although we are in a problem created basically by the United States, but this does not affect our programs in China. We have enough students. I say enough because we have a quota of 160 students in the MBA, and we always have the complete quota. China, there's one thing that foreigners must understand. China has exported products. I'm telling you that within a few years, maybe 10 years, they will export education. Because in China, the universities we have top universities in China. So we have to be prepared for that. What is the future of China? China in 1839 was the strongest economy in the world. In 1939, it was not. It was a very difficult time. And by 2039, it will certainly go back to the level it was in 1839. We wrote a book about the future of China. And if you're interested, I will send you a copy by internet or something. I've been in China for many years. I've received the Labor Award, the Friendship Award, and I think I have good relationship with the structure. I thank you very much, and if you need anything, I will contact, and maybe we could open an MBA program in Shanghai Lincoln Innovation Center. That will be good. We've been running in Suzhou, Beijing, and sometime in Shanghai. And there's an executive MBA. We could do it there. And if you have any question, we could answer anything. I'm very sorry at the beginning, I had a problem to share the screen, but we survived. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in Shanghai or in anywhere in the world. Thank you.
他是我们研究院的学院院长。
最后一段是在说，希望以后他能尽早来上海，和我们带着他，还有很多 MBA 的学生、那些企业家们一起来临港参观，了解上海，了解临港的政策。然后现在呢，我们现在有请欧洲的企业家代表、国际律师 Radu Gerbus 来给我们致辞。Please welcome Radu Gerbus, international lawyer.
Hi. Hi. Just a moment to open my PPT. I hope you can see it. Can you see it? Hello?
Yes, we can see you clearly.
Okay. So yeah, my name is Radu Gerbus, and I'm an international lawyer. I'm working with the CJ since 2011 in China. I work mainly on the investment immigration projects, but also in some investments for United States, for example, or Canada in provincial investments. I'm greeting you from Germany. I'm currently now in Düsseldorf. And it's a pleasure to talk after Professor Prosper Bernard, who gave you, I would say, more the North American perspective over the China relation. From here, from Europe, the perspective is a little bit different. And allow me to introduce my content. So first, I will speak about the current business relationship, future of US-China business relationship. Why should Union Europe high-tech companies to invest in China? I will jump over the fourth section and go why Lingang Freight Zone is the main hub for high-tech companies to invest, not only in Shanghai, but in China. So first of all, although between China and United States in 2020 was a decrease in the business between European Union and China was very good. And actually now European Union is the main business partner of China. And also China is the main partner for European Union. As you can see in last year, the total trade was 586 billion euro. And from this business, China has a trade surplus of 181 million. So European Union is a very important market for China. And
we can't saw the PPT.
You cannot see that? I share. You don't see it? Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you. Now we
can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I thought you already see it. I saw it already. You see it. So wait. It's okay? Can you see it? Hello?
Yeah, you can see it. It's nice.
Okay. So I'm in the first slide here. Trade between European Union and China. So last year, China became the first business partner of Europe. Until last year, until 2020, all the years before, United States has been the first business trading partner, but now China, since last year, is the first. And we expect that this trend to continue because what's happened last year in December finally has been signed. The European China Comprehensive Trade Agreement. And this, wait, here. So they signed a comprehensive agreement on investment, which unfortunately this year has been suspended due to some political disagreements between China and European Union, but we consider that these disagreements are temporary, and sooner, hopefully maybe end of this year, that the agreement to be implemented and to be applicable. So this trade agreement will remove and will relax the restrictions in some areas that require European business to form joint ventures with the Chinese partners and to share technology. So this is very important, especially for the Lingang Free Trade Zone, which want to attract the high-tech companies from Europe, as long the European companies have the certainty that they can set up business by themselves and they can operate without to share the technology. I think this is a much better position to entry on the market in China. And also, under the comprehensive agreement on investment, European businesses will gain a greater access to different industries, including cloud computing, healthcare, finance. And this is important because especially many companies, especially in Germany, they have very good experience on this healthcare services, healthcare, e-healthcare, and all kind of other sectors related to high tech. And for China as well, to have access to European market much better than they can get to United States is very important, because European Union is still the third economic power in the world, or second, depends how you look at the numbers. So I think this situation will make us confident here in Europe. And it is very important that European Union doesn't have, how to say, a competitive relation with China on the military or on the political side. This is more for the United States and Canada, who are in other trading bloc, not in Europe. Okay, why should EU high-tech companies invest in China? First of all, of course, they have, in China, there are many favorable government policies, and these policies are very pointed and very, how to say, very proactive. Also, regarding the entrepreneurial environment in China now is growing, and maybe at one point will surpass United States, this kind of cluster, technology clusters. And this is also due to the government policies, but also due to the creativity and hard work of the Chinese people. And all this create a business environment and business ecosystem, which is quite facilitative for setting up and developing new technologies there. Of course, the abundance of skilled talents. Chinese young professionals are hardworking, talented, and highly competent. And what's important now, a lot of Chinese who are studying in the United States or the European Union or Australia, they are coming back in China and start up or working for the companies there. This is for different reasons, but I think the main reason is that the China market now is maybe more attractive than what they can get elsewhere. Okay, growth opportunities. Of course, the China economy, even despite the COVID or something, has the how to say, the highest growth rate in the world, and they weathered all the other crises which affect the Western economy much better. Also, minimal regulation enables entrepreneurs to experiment with idea in a more flexible manner, and this is true. They don't have so much red tape in many fields, and when they try to regulate it, they will regulate it very, how to say, in a flexible manner, which is an advantage for entrepreneurs. Also, of course, stability, social, political, and economic stability has helped China to grow consistently in the last 3 decades. And this is very important because make the market predictable, so the businesses can predict the future, and they can rely on the policies to stay there and to can grow in a orderly fashion. Regarding the advantages to Lingang Free Trade Zone innovation, I think that Shanghai Lingang, how we will set up and the policies they have are great. And what is very important is the Lingang is part of Shanghai. Shanghai being the best city in China, in my opinion, but I think many foreigners think the same. And that's make very easy to attract talent from the university from Shanghai. One of the speakers ahead of me said they have partnership with Fudan, with Jiao Tong, maybe Tongji. So all our top universities, Chinese universities, from where the foreign company or the company which are located in Lingang can draw their talent, right? Also, there are favorable policies to attract the Chinese and foreigners to settle in Lingang. For example, the permits, residence permits, which are very important in China. Also, the green channel for foreign talents, employment and entrepreneurship. So all these policies, they are made and they are key for attracting the talent. Of course, except the talent, you have also the tax advantages, which are consistent also. And what's important that you have a lot of industry support and the government support for all kind of, especially for the startups, when you have a lot of support to set up the company, to register, to navigate the Chinese administration and bureaucracy. These are key elements there. And for foreigners, I think if they look to enter in China, they'll go to an area like Lingang, because from everything experienced there will be at one point expanded in China. And even now, regarding the trading between China product and European Union, the products are still growing, but what will grow in the future will be the services. And these services imply a lot of IT services, cloud computing, healthcare, and artificial intelligence, and all these elements, if combined with the stronger protection in China of the intellectual property, will make European companies to give a thought to China and to invest there. Thank you very much. If you have other questions, I'm very happy to reply. And as a European face of CJ, I will do my best to attract the companies from Europe and to channel them to set up offices in Lingang Freight Free Zone. Hello? Hello?
下面有请 Robobots 机器人技术有限公司代表陈帅发言。Please welcome Mr. Chen Shuai, representative of Shanghai Robobots Technology Company.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Steve. I work for RoboWatch, which is a German company, and we set up a new company in Shanghai Lingang Innovation Center in 2016. So for me, now I want to invite all of you come to Shanghai. I'm the first employee of the Shanghai company. I want to share some experience from me that might be useful if you come to Shanghai Lingang. First of all, please allow me to introduce our company. I will share. Oh, I forgot to change my company. This is the first our first robot called Mosul, which is for the warehouse to prevent fire. It can detect carbon monoxide and the sweet gas. And the second one is Orfro, which can detect guns, bombs, and the nuclear weapons. And the third one is based on the second one. It's called Ascendo. This robot can detect the weapons, and they got another function is EOD function. And the fourth robot is called Chrysler. This is a unmanned vehicles. Based on these vehicles, we made some new autonomous driving cars, like the autonomous shuttle bus, where we will see the video. All those robots and vehicles use the same software. we called Robo OS. This is our operation system for all those robots. And what we do in China, based on this, I will show you some video that because I know you hear the voice from the video. Yeah, this first one. That can detect if man coming to the warehouse. Yes, that is the second one. Called off-road. Yes, this is third one called ascender. And this is glider, the autonomous vehicles. Now, I already finished to introduce my company and what my company do in Shanghai. We developed the China market. We made some unmanned vehicles for the Chinese customers, and we make our operating system better and better. So why we choose Lingang? Shanghai is a modern city, and Lingang is the modern area of Shanghai. And I think that you already might know that in Shanghai have almost 25 million people here. So this is a huge market. You can come here to make money. So what my company got something from the Lingang, what Lingang has to offer. Our company has received the government's subsidies from research and development expenses. For example, we invest 100 yuan in research and development expenses. The government will give us 20 yuan to 50 yuan. But my company have 20% for the R&D expenses. That is no repayment is required. They just give you. And as long as you have a good product, they even help you to promote it in the media and help you connect with potential customers. So this is what the Lingang Innovation Center doing. Set a new company for you and provide office. That at the first 3 years, we don't pay any money for rent the office here. And they can, yes, I already said that they can help you contact customers, the tax returns, blah, blah. This video can show they help us to get to in the media. Lingang, you can see me. Yeah, this is our shuttle bus we made in Shanghai. Yes, this is me. And for me, I think there is 3 importances for if you went to another country or went to another city. First is if that you can make money here, and second is if your children can get a good education here. The third one is if your whole family can live happily here. The answer is Lingang has it all. So I think it's good time to come here. And now we got the really good politics. Yes, those photos is from me. Yes, we made friends. In the end, I want to welcome all of you come to Shanghai Lingang. If you set a new company, yes, this is my my photos. Yes, I even have a second baby in Shanghai. Yeah. Welcome. If you come here at the beginning, I think that you might face some problems such visa and taxes and blah blah blah. A lot of, but I already faced that problems 5 years ago. I hope my employees who come from Germany, we will help to get the visa and payment, a lot of stuff. So I already do that a lot of things before. So if you guys come to China, you can call me. I want to help, and I'm willing to help you. And yeah, I will show you my WeChat here and my mobile phone. I want to share the important things in the last. I know and where is the party in Shanghai. So if you come here, just call me. Okay, thank you for your time.
1个多小时了，是吧？大家如果累了或者可以多点小时，拿一点小时补充一下体力，好吧？谢谢大家。然后呢，我们下面有请云峰国际物流上海有限公司副总裁单旭明发言。Please welcome Mr. Shan Xuming, Vice President of Winfeng International Logistics, Shanghai.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Hello everyone, this is Sophia Ray from Winfeng International Logistics Company. I'm so glad for to Lingang Innovation Center for giving this opportunity to show everyone about Winfeng International Logistics. As a private logistics company, Winfeng has grown up with the development of Lingang, relying on the support of Lingang's policies and systems. Winfeng International has gradually developed and grown. Next, I will introduce Winfeng International Logistics Company to everyone. First is our qualification. This is the ISO quality authentication, and this is the certificate of the CTPAD, which is the security assessment. Winfeng also is the 4A logistics enterprise, and we had the National Advanced Logistics Enterprise. Next part, I will introduce the business we do. With 17 years in modern third-party logistics, Winfeng Logistics has 800 professional and experienced employees in more than 10 departments. Its current warehouse covers an area of 270,000 square meters. Included, the storage area is 130,000 square meters, and external ground area is 140,000 square meters. We specialize in loading all kinds of cargoes, transport, import, and export projects, provide customers with diversified logistics solution and tracking service for high-value cargo. The company's operating business developed steadily, and its economic benefits continue to improve. At present, the company is one of the companies in Shanghai private port logistics industry with a complete organizational structure and a rapid growth in total production and sales. Winfeng Logistics both have the warehouse and the transport fleet at Waigaoqiao and Yangshan Lingang area. The geographical advantages can help our team well cooperate and support, also reduce the cost and improve the efficiency in daily operation. The business partners we cooperate now like Kuninago, the carries, APL, and Shipco Transport. The third part, I will introduce the warehouse and the transport business in Lingang. In year 2015, Winfeng International set up a Lingang Jietong base. Its main business is high-end cargo storage and unloading, regular cargo warehousing management. Relying on the policy support of Lingang, the company has developed and expanded, and the warehouse area and the number of personnel had made a great strides. This picture shows our warehouse, the records, the features of operation team. This shows the rack shelf. According to customers' demand, we can provide customized service to meet the customer storage requirements of different goods. This is another warehouse in Lingang. Also do the high-value cargo loading, LCL QC. This shows the QC room we have, and also the no-dust GOH operation room. Here shows the rack shelf with the Europe standard. This is the third warehouse for Lingang. It's also for the high-value cargo loading, for some bulk cargo warehousing service. We also do some other feature business like garment container. We tailor make all kinds of garment container according to the client's needs. We do the tele business. We have the professional tele team to sorting, scanning, labeling, and other value-added service for high-value cargo. Now we have more than 20 features for dangerous cargo transport and a tailor-made transport solution based on our customers' requirements. For the cargo package, we tailor-make all kinds of wooden case, the vacuum packages, and the donation bags. Since the year 2020, Winfeng has been involved in the construction of smart warehouse using the autumn palleting robot arm. And after using the robot arm, the warehouse has improved the overall efficiency and operation. Here is a video about the robot arms to operation to show you. Used for the palleting. Okay, this shows our smart warehouse. In terms of some talent reserves, Winfeng International has continually held the Winfeng Cup Reserve Logistic Design Competition at Shanghai Maritime University and Shanghai Ocean University. Through their holding of competition and bronze, it expands its influence, integrates production, education, and research, and creates creativity for Lingang students. More opportunities for display also deliver fresh knowledge and ideas to the enterprise. Linked by the Lingang Innovation Center, Winfeng serves as a product education integration base and a skill product center for several Lingang universities. Winfeng International Logistics is straightforward on the land of Lingang new area, and hopes have the opportunity to cooperate with the outstanding enterprise here in the future. All about is I introduce about Winfeng, and thanks for your listening. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. 下面呢，我们有请律师、作家、上海交通大学博士讲师 Demika Vladiko 来给我们发言。Please welcome Demika Vladiko, lawyer, author, and PhD lecturer at Shanghai Jiaotong University. Hello, Demika, are you here?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I want to share my thoughts about Shanghai Lingang Free Trade Zone. And first of all, you may ask yourself why a former lawyer of a middle-sized country in Southeastern Europe, like Bulgaria, can share his thoughts about Lingang Free Zone. Well, you may know that the location of Bulgaria is quite strategic. It's in Southwestern Europe, and it is between European Union, Asia, and Russia. And speaking about investments, location and communications are very, very important. This is probably the first thing that our potential investors are looking for. Where is the location of their future investment? So having in mind that Bulgaria is in Southeastern Europe and Lingang is in southeastern part of Shanghai, we can find, yes.
We can't see the PPT. Do you mind to share the PPT with us?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you see the PPT now? Probably we can continue with the slides.
Okay. So PPT is loading.
It's sharing. Yes. Okay. I think it's ready now. Here we go. Yeah, we can share the slides. Connection is a little bit slowly.
Yeah, because of the movement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will just continue speaking. Yes. And I want to start with a little bit history. The project of Lingang is not a new one. Actually, I'm surprised that none of the former speakers actually mentioned Yangshan. Yangshan is a port situated next to Lingang. And it's not just a port, it's the biggest deep water commercial port in the world. And it was opened about a decade ago. And probably you know that the former Chinese Prime Minister Wen Jiabao had an idea to promote Tianjin as #1 port and major sea door of China. Anyway, the current premier Li Keqiao was the one who actually released Yangshan port, nevertheless the Singapore port and their soft diplomacy. Well, currently Yangshan is operating, and it's really the biggest deep port of China and in the world. And you know, the connections and communications, as I already mentioned, are very important for investment projects. So currently, Lingang has close proximity with Pudong Airport, with major railway connections and deep sea port. It is also connected with highways to Shanghai and Hangzhou, including 36-kilometer long bridge. And they have also a metro line, Lingang Avenue. This is line 16 of Shanghai. And if you take this line 16, you can go to Lujiazui, which is the financial heart of Shanghai, for less than 45 minutes. I just mentioned Lujiazui, and I want to expand a little bit the similarity and differences between Lujiazui and Lingang. Many people think that Lingang will be next Lujiazui. They have their strong reasons to predict that. Lingang has central government incentives and support of the local Shanghai government. they have lots of key area international players, and they have already opened offices like Tesla, BMW, Abbott, General Electric, many, as I said, key players, international players. And for me personally, I don't think that Lingan will be copy-paste Liu Jiazui or something like this. Actually, if you're working in the financial area, or as I was working before as a corporate lawyer, probably you're going to work at the Liu Jiazui. But if you want to open a company or office or a plant, which is more than 20, 30, 50 people, then most probably you're not going to pick up Huaihai Road or Century Avenue. You're going to pick up Lingan. Why? On one hand, because you will be surrounded by these big players, as I mentioned, like BMW, Tesla, and General Electric. And on the other hand, you will have very healthy and safe environment. The area is new, modern, high-tech, and local taxes are lower compared with the other zones of Shanghai. And for those who don't know, Shanghai is like capital of the world, actually. Everything new and modern in China is here in Shanghai. And previous speakers already mentioned the preferential policies in details. So my drive here will be to invite potential investors from Europe mainly, or even people who are just interested to visit Shanghai. Just go and visit Lingan. You will not be disappointed because you will have your own impression of this area. And now you can just see pictures or videos, but it's different if you go there and see it with your own eyes. And that's what I'm saying to my students. Currently, I'm working in one of the 3 biggest and most ranking universities in China, namely Shanghai Jiao Tong University. And I encourage my students to go in Lingan, visit Lingan free trade zone, and just they want to try to apply as internship or even start working after graduation in Jiaotong. Well, I don't want to take any more of your attention and time. So as my previous colleagues, I will leave my WeChat here and I remain at your disposal. So if you have any questions or you're interested in additional information, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much, people.
Thank you for your presentation. And 我们呢，接着我们有请，下面我们有请普乐亚洲销售总监兼 President Sale Lan Palet 发言。Please welcome Mr. Jan Pascal, Lafayette Sales Director of the Bamboo Asia.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Yes? Hello? Can you see my screen? Yes? Okay, so very glad to be here with you. Thanks to my friend Prosper Bernard. He has invited me, and the reason is that as he explained in his presentation, even the political situation was difficult recently between Canada and China. Some sectors or some Canadian and Chinese companies were able to have a good business in this difficult time. So what we do, ProGrain, we are soybean specialists. Okay, we are involved with the development and the production of soybean from A to Z. Just to give you a little perspective, So as you can see, this year we are expecting maybe 8 million metric tons, something like that from Canada. Just to compare that with China, China last year produced close to 20 million metric tons. So China produced more than the double of Canada, but China also imports 65 to 75% of the world's soybean production. So what Canada bring to the table in terms of soybean for China and other markets is the Canadian advantages. So we are bringing varieties designed especially for the food makers. So tofu, soy milk, tofu pea, all of these nice products. What they need is good protein and uniform size, and that's exactly what we bring on the table. Just to give you an idea, our focus is really on the protein content, and our soybean varieties have protein content from 40 to 47%. Okay, and in China, in Dongbei, the protein average is around 38%, right? So that's one of the Canadian advantages. Also, why China like to buy soybean from Canada is because of the traceability that Canada bring. We bring a traceability program which is granted by the Canadian Grain Commission, and because of that, when a customer in China buy a container from us, we can track back exactly from the farm. So all of this traceability is something that is more and more in demand from the international markets and China also. So ProGrain, we are a family company. We, just to give you an idea in terms of volume, we are exporting around 160,000 metric tons annually. That's like 8,000 containers. And out of this volume, maybe 2,000 containers a year are going to China. So that's like 25% of our sales are in China now. That's approximately 40 million US dollar in terms of value. And as I said, we are soybean specialists. So what we export is our babies, is our varieties that we have developed through our R&D program. ProGrain is present in terms of growing soybeans a little bit all over the world. We grow in Canada, we grow in US, we grow in Russia, we grow in Ukraine. We also grow in China now. We have an office in Harbin. So we are offering our soybean seeds to the Dongbei, Heilongjiang farmers. So our business model is very simple. R&D, we develop varieties, we produce seeds, we buy back the crop, and we export it. We have all kind of nice program and certification. We do organic, all of this nice stuff. I don't want to enter too much in the detail, but that's our R&D program. Our focus is really on R&D, as I mentioned before. We do have some technology in soybeans. We use molecular tools to accelerate the development of new soybean varieties. And these soybean varieties are suitable for the coldest regions. So as I mentioned, Russia, Ukraine, Canada, Dongbei, China. If we are in this latitude, our soybeans offer higher yields for the farmers and good protein for the food makers. Yeah, that's of course it's not our first rodeo in terms of exporting and documentation and all of that for the container to make its way to the factory. And I'll let it here because time is running, but you have my email, you have my WeChat ID. I'm available if you want to have a discussion about soybean, about tofu, and you You know, as Prosper Bernard mentioned in his presentation, it's all about Guanxi. So I have a nice program. We offer 2% commission for agent. So please feel free to contact me by WeChat or email, and we can talk more about soybean business. Thank you, everybody.
Xavier Grant Fire. Please welcome Mrs. Xavier Grant, Manager in the Aftermarket Service of CAE.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. However, I think I've lost everyone. Won't be long. So you can see my screen? I don't see you guys anymore, but it doesn't matter.
Sure.
All right, so hi everyone. I'm Sylvie Grant. I'm working at CAE as a manager with the aftermarket service department. I've been at CAE since 2000. I started my career as a software developer and had several growth opportunities throughout the years. So who is CAE? We're the world leaders, high-tech company in flight simulation, actually different types of simulation, in the civil aviation, in the defense and security. The defense and security simulation is mostly focused on simulating mission rehearsals. And our third business is on the healthcare, where we use the same type of simulation technology to train healthcare professionals. So we're an international company around the globe. In China, we are based in Beijing, Shanghai, and Zhuhai. We have several employees in different professions as instructors, technicians, and engineers. Today, I would like to share with you two things. One is a bit of the history of the innovations at CAE that we've created and the impacts of simulation. And secondly, I'd like to share with you guys some of the innovation that is happening today. So CAE is a brief of history is actually an old company in today's terms because a lot of startup companies and stuff like that. So CAE was created in 1947, so more than 70 years ago. And it started with the creation of flight simulation, but also changed within the time frame, as you see here. And our latest creation was the CAE Air 1 ventilators, which I'll talk a little bit more in a minute. So CAE was revolutionized the simulation and was able to demonstrate how simulation can be more effective than real live training. So some of the training that we do is very high risk, very dangerous, and also very expensive. And one of the examples that I'd like to share with you today is a maneuver that is often done called the upset recovery in a plane, where the plane receives a stick shift and it gets stalled and you get a warning. And it's actually can cause a serious loss of the flight controls, and a pilot has to recover a plane. So this actually happens, one plane every 2 days will have to perform this type of maneuver safely. And the Chinese aviation officials have mandated that all pilots be trained and have the capabilities to have this by the end of 2021. So CAE will be in China this year, this fall, to bring in this type of training to China. On the healthcare side, the simulation, we also don't want to use, we want to use simulation instead of real live training. And here are some of the examples. We have a mannequin that a lot of professionals use to simulate the birth of a child. So universities, hospitals train their personnel with these types of mannequins. Another type of simulation that we use is heart surgery. And I think I have a video to show you guys very quickly. Here we go. And how we perform a heart surgery using virtual reality. It's a simulation. We use the HoloLenses we have a partnership with Microsoft. And this is how we can train people to do. In this video here, he's pulling in a stent for a heart surgery and using the virtual reality and the HoloLenses. Very quick, but here we go, very efficient. And you can see how using this type of training can enhance our doctors and health professions. A very cool tool, actually. There we go. So COVID-19 did affect the aerospace industry and did touch the flight, the instructions and instructors and the business. So, but it did allow us to build our healthcare side, and which also helped us implement quick learning, remote simulation, and also enabled us to help train professionals on how to deal with the pandemic. And another opportunity that gave us with the COVID-19 is to create what I initially told you guys about, was this Air 1, which is a ventilator. CAE's strength is also that we're able to bring from end to end, from production, from a design perspective, all the way to the final production. And Air 1 is a testimony of this end-to-end capability. So all culture is innovation. A little secret that I'm sharing with you guys is some of the innovations that exist today actually was invented at CAE. This is one of an example is the CAE head display that was created in the 1980s, which is the ancestry of VR, virtual reality, created at CAE. A little secret that not many people know about, but there are other inventions that come from CAE. So I gave you guys a bit of a brief history of some of the things that we created as part of innovation. Some of the things that are coming up and that we're working on right now is, some of the AI, the artificial intelligence that we're using to find how we can improve the quality of the training. We find strengths and weaknesses. We can identify how we can improve the training. And also we're involved in the urban air taxi object with the electrical and hybrid aircrafts, a very exciting project. And finally, CAE is the first to be the carbon neutral in the aerospace industry. It's a topic that touches us all. So here are some of the innovation ideas that were implemented by CAE so we can become carbon neutral. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you.
我们下面有请 Hermes Technics CEO Thomas Smonk 发言。Please welcome Mr. Thomas Smonk, CEO of Hermes Technics.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Hemostemics, Inc., a World Economic Forum Technology Pioneer Award winner that is listed in Frankfurt, Toronto, and New York. Our objective in speaking to you today is to express our interest to obtain a trusted investment partnership to generate a R&D, sales and distribution company in Shanghai. I will make forward-looking statements to give you a sense of our business, the scaling of our manufacturing process, our near-term and longer-term outlooks. And of course, with any forward-looking information, actual results and management performance may differ from that expressed today. However, I want to give you a sense of why we are very passionate about our technology and its promise. Hemostemics' first product candidate is ACP01, an angiogenic cell precursor that is patented been used as a treatment of more than 500 compassionate cases of ischemia, and is the subject of a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial. I'll discuss in detail our interim trial results and the published literature of our clinical outcomes. Very early on, we recognized that scaling the platform through automation of the production process was key to address more than 5 million limb amputations globally due to diabetes. To that end, we've hired an engineering firm and completed a feasibility analysis that led to our automation patent. This is critical given that ACP addresses more than 5 conditions of ischemia, including critical limb ischemia, and its preceding condition, peripheral arterial disease, angina, and ischemic and dilated cardiomyopathy. Well, more than 500 patients have been treated on a compassionate basis. More than 245 are the subjects of various studies. And I'll take you through those study results to give you an understanding of the complete safety profile of ACP and the reported efficacy by indication. Our clinical development pipeline is robust with no less than 9 targeted indications, most of which have been treated compassionately with significant success. Neuronal cell precursors and bone cell precursors like angiogenic cell precursors are published in the British Journal of Hematology. This makes Hemostemics a platform technology of patients' blood-derived stem cells that can be targeted to treat multiple conditions as we age. There are a multiple of near-term catalysts anticipated in 2021 and 2022, including the Ascent Limb Preservation Conference later this month, the Sir Anthony Rotoso 15th Annual Family Office Investment Conference at the beginning of July, the Amputation Prevention Symposium in August, the Symposium on Advanced Wound Care in late October. We will release the results of our phase 2 clinical trial data later this summer. And we will announce phase 2B or phase 3 clinical trial additions to our management team, licensing and M&A activity later this year. The key differentiators of angiogenic cell precursors as compared to bone marrow or other tissue-derived stem cells are the following. ACP is an autologous product, meaning it comes from the patients themselves. There's very low patient risk because they are the patient's cells. It is a very simple protocol that is easy to perform in an outpatient clinic. There are no safety issues reported. There are no mobilization drugs required to stimulate cell production before collection is needed. The process is scalable, centralizable, and leverageable as a platform. We have a very high cell viability with fresh cells that are shipped in ready-to-use syringes that ship anywhere in the world in 35 hours. The markets for ACP are very large and expected to grow as the population ages. As mentioned, saving 1 million limbs is a $25 billion reoccurring annual market to Hemostemics. Scaling the business will increase volume and margin, decrease cost, and achieve a true breakthrough in the treatment of ischemia in limbs, the heart, and lungs, and other circulatory dependent systems. Note in 47 days how this foot and toe healed after the treatment with ACP. Also note the improvement in circulation. I'll go through the next slides. I would like you to keep this image in mind as I read the results that follow. The first study published of ACP was of an investigator study that 5 of 6 limbs were saved from amputation. The second study was 20 randomized CLI patients. 10 received ACP and 10 received a placebo. There were no deaths and 7 of 10 patients saved their limb from amputation in the treated group. There were 2 deaths and 6 of 8 limbs lost to amputation in the placebo group. The third study was a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trial, which we're in currently. Dr. York Zhang from the University of British Columbia reported to the 41st meeting of vascular surgeons in Kelowna, British Columbia, that 83% of subjects he followed for 4.5 years experienced healing of ulcers and resolution of ischemic pain and saved their limb from amputation. We've completed an angina trial. 24 patients were enrolled and treated with angiogenic cell precursors and assessed at 1, 3, and 6 months post-treatment. 20 completed follow-up at 3 months and 17 completed follow-up at 6 months. The 6-minute walk test improved from 333 meters to 413 meters at 6 months. Exercise capacity increased from 5.62 to 6.73 metabolic equivalents at 3 months and to 7.09 metabolic equivalents at 6 months. Mean Canadian cardiovascular score decreased 1 whole class from 2.1 to 1.8 at 6 months. And while 1 patient died due to a heart attack 2 weeks after treatment, it was an unrelated death. I mentioned the heart studies. There are 2 very interesting heart publications. One of 106 patients who averaged 66 years of age, who were NYHA functional class 3 or 4, who had poor left ventricle function and who typically had a previous heart attack and 2 comorbidities. These patients had exhausted all surgical, all medical, and all pharmaceutical options. At 1 year follow-up, functional class improved 1 whole class. Left ventricle ejection fraction improved 5% from 34% to 39%. And the quality of life survey revealed that general health and physical functioning were significantly improved. Roger Burgesson, patient number 35, and a co-founder of this company, an individual I know personally, who was given 6 months to live before his treatment in 2005, gained 14 years of additional life. His ejection fraction improved from 18% to 30%, where it stabilized. And he regained a quality of life he thought was lost forever. This is an FDA approved and Health Canada approved clinical trial. We are in the final stages of our phase 2 clinical trial. The 65th patient has had its last follow-up visit, and we are completing source document verification, a database cleanse before locking the database and completing the statistical analyses. We do have 56 million shares issued. We have approximately 39 million warrants extant, which would exercise and create approximately $22 million. And would welcome you to become a shareholder, learn more about our company, and learn more about our board of directors. Peter Lacey is our chairman. He's an independent director and also chairman of Service Corporation, a company he built from 1 John Deere dealership to 64 company-owned stores doing greater than $1.2 billion in revenue. Dr. Ronnie Hirschman is an independent director and an esteemed cardiologist from New York. Lauren Swanberg of the Swanberg Family Office is an independent director. I'm a co-founder who ran the company for the first 5 years and who returned to the company after being away for 10 years. I led a rescue of the company in late 2019 and have raised it $11 million since January 2020. I've created an independent board of advisors as well, who's capable of leading the company to grow globally. This includes Tim Chang, a former managing director of private equity investment at Cerebus and AIG in Hong Kong. David Sabushi, who is a former Solicitor General of Ontario, and the Honorable Sheila Copps, who is a former Deputy Prime Minister of Canada. Thank you for your attention and time. I look forward to reaching out to many of the presenters today as we move from Toronto to open up, hopefully, a business in Lingham. Thank you very much.
我们呢，今天有一位特殊来宾啊，特殊嘉宾。我们现在有请罗马尼亚国会议员、罗中友好协会成员 Anna Maria Gavlila 发言。Please welcome Anna Maria Gavlila, member of the Romanian Parliament and is a member of the Friendship Parliamentary Group with the PR China.
Hello. Thank you very much for your invitation. Yes, my name is Anna Maria Gavrila, and I'm now a member of the parliament in Romania. Romania is a country in the Eastern Europe and has been a member of the European Union since 2007. Romania is also the second largest East European country in European Union. A little bit of myself, my background is in real estate. I've been working for real estate investment funds. I do understand digitalization and technology because I've been myself a founder of a startup that digitalizes the real estate transactions and replaces the real estate agent in the residential market in Germany. And I am also now, as a member of the parliament in Romania, a member of the Friendship Parliamentary Group with the People's Republic of China. I would like to make a short introduction about the Romania and China friendship history. Romania was the third country to recognize People's Republic of China. We are very proud of that. And the diplomatic relationships were established in October 5th in 1949 at the rank of embassy. The development, the deepening of bilateral political dialogue start from, accumulated over 72 years since the recognition of People's Republic of China, and we established diplomatic relationships. Romania is continuing to be anonymously recognized in China as the second country to contribute to China's industrialization and agrarian reform. We therefore recognize that Romania and China have a very, very special relationship. So Romania and China have continued to have a very good relationship over the years. And this relationship, of course, has been shaped in the last years by Romania joining the European Union and having to align to new rules imposed by the European Union. However, as many other countries in the European Union have a very good and close relationship with China, Romania recognizes the history and will want to keep a very close and productive collaboration with China. We recognize Romania needs ambitious infrastructure projects to develop, and the very best example to learn from is China. We therefore see a very cross interest and collaboration. First of all, on technology. Romania is one of the rapidly growing IT markets in the Central European region, is considered as the primary growth driver in the sector, the technology. And we have one of the highest number of engineers per capita, even higher than in the US, India or Russia. We do also see a very big opportunity, especially for the technology and for Chinese investors in agriculture, as the quality of land in Romania is one of the best in Europe, and therefore we can achieve very good yields. I would like to, I made this very, very short because we've already spent some time here, and I'm very grateful for having the opportunity to meet many of so many people and companies that can contribute to China and overall to add value to the entire world. So Thank you so much for making this contact. But I would like to conclude as Romania has a very big potential in many fields, and the friendship between Romania and China has a strong history. Therefore, as a member of the Romanian Parliament and as a member of the Friendship Parliamentary Group with the People's Republic of China, I will endeavor to strengthen the relationship between our countries and continue to highlight the benefit of a close collaboration. In my team, I have two, I'm very proud of that. I have two counselors that have a very strong relationship with China. One member, Mihaela Stmate, graduated a bachelor degree and currently completing a master degree at the University of Science Technology in Beijing. And the other member that has just had a presentation, Mr. Radu Gargush has been working in China, in Shanghai, as a barrister and solicitor since 2011. As such, I will be more than happy to get any feedback from you, any question, and of course, contact if you are interested in collaborating with Romania. Thank you so much for your time.
感谢大家哈，今天我们的那个会议呢，也就到此结束了。然后由于时间的关系呢，本次会议就设置那个提问环节了。如果你们有任何关于我们会议上面所提供的那些企业啊，还有领导啊那些，你们有什么政策方面想要了解的，请通过微信或者通过邮件，或者也可以直接找我们这里的任何人，直接面对面的来了解情况。Today's conference is finished, and because of time limit, we have no question section. If you have any question, please feel free to ask us via the email or WeChat. 谢谢大家的参加 ，Thanks for your presence.
大家吃点东西，我们现场的啊。